In this segment, I'm going to take a look at the General Options settings, and they're found under the Tools drop-down menu. So when you choose that option, a box opens up, and there are several tabs under this box. Display tab, Printing, General, 3D Properties, your key, Colors, and Workspace. And I'll go through and explain as much as I understand. I don't profess to know every detail about all of these options. At least I haven't had the opportunity to learn them all. And I believe that if I needed to, I would be able to get that help either from Artistic Sewing Suite or just from my online manual, where I often refer to. But I'll highlight the things that I do understand and think are valuable to learn about. So basically, the monitor width, this is important. If you use a widescreen monitor, you want to make sure that your software knows the size of your monitor so that everything on your screen is displayed proportionately. In other words, is your grid a square? Is the shape of your square a square, or does it get stretched? And by setting the size of your monitor by either using auto detect or choosing from one of the presets or typing in the visible area, you will get everything to display in proportion. Also on this area here, we have the English language choice, or what language you would like to choose. There are several languages available. And when you choose a different language, you need to reload, in other words, close your software and reopen it again for the changes to take effect. And I believe if you change the language to a different language, that it will change the text on all of your drop-down menus and your tools. But I don't believe that it changes the online manual. I'm pretty sure that the online manual is just available in English. Under the Printing tab, you have the default fonts that will be displayed when you print your templates, and the default size of the fonts, so you can change those things. You can change the resolution or the dots per inch for when you print out, and it says my company name here is Print Out by Wings Modular. I could change this to say Print Out by Trevor Conquergood, or whatever you would like your printouts to say. And it's checked off to auto fit in Print Preview, so that's fine. Under the General tab, well, it's asking me what kind of embroidery floppy diskette I use, and I actually don't use one, so I could choose none. But if you still had an A drive or a B drive for your floppy diskette, this will help your software know where to find it. I'm not exactly sure about some of these options, but the undo levels, well, you can set the number of times that you can choose to say undo, 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 undo if you're wanting to go backwards in your designs. And it also is set here to auto backup every one operation, so that means my design will never be far from being backed up. Every time I make a change, it gets backed up. You can choose your measurement system. Again, it's either metric or imperial. And if I was to change it from metric to imperial, I would need to close the software and then restart it for that change to take effect. Under the 3D properties, I haven't had an opportunity to really go through this. When I installed my software, the Direct 3D was the sort of default choice, and it just simply worked for me. But I presume if you had any issues with getting that to work with your computer, that this is going to be a way that you can go in and choose the other 3D option or make other changes so that it will function for you appropriately. The key, well, this has to do with your security device, and basically it's showing me here the levels of the program that I have available to me, and it tells me here my old parts number. And the reason this is here is if you can actually receive new functions from the Artistic Sewing Suite, basically to add new functions to your software, and that can be done by codes, which you would then update, put into here, and choose update, and it would then award you the new functionality that you had either purchased or been given by the software developers. So this is a little bit about your software and your security suite, or your security key, your dongle. Colors, I really like this one. Basically, it shows here the colors that I have in my design. So just as an example, when a design's selected, these are the colors. On light backgrounds, it's going to select it in green. It'll show it in green. On dark backgrounds, it will show it in this sort of orange color, and I could choose from any color I wanted to. So if I would rather it to be displayed in on dark backgrounds and a dark pink, then I could make that change. And you have the same option for all these different types of embroidery situations. So what color would you like your grid to be? On light backgrounds, I have a sort of honey colored grid. On dark backgrounds, I have my grid set for pink. But if you'd rather have a red background on dark, you can make that change. So your guidelines, you can set the colors of your guidelines. You can set the color of all these different things, your crosshair. And so this is your ability to customize, I guess, how the software is going to appear to you. One more thing on the workspace. So one of the options in the Wings modular is when you hit your spacebar, things will disappear. And so, for example, whatever you have checked off in here will not disappear when I hit my spacebar. So right now, you'll notice my standard toolbar up at the top is not checked off. So if I say OK, and then I'm just going to hold my spacebar, or I'm going to click my spacebar. Notice what it did. It just hid all of my toolbars and basically only left what I decided. So my image map is still available, and the file drop-down menus are still available. Now if I hit spacebar again, brings all my toolbars back. So it's a nice way, I guess, when you're digitizing to clean up the clutter. But under the Tools and Options menu, I would be able to say, well, actually, I really want my standard toolbar to always remain as well. So now if I say OK and then hit the spacebar, the standard toolbar still remains. So that's what that's about. You have the ability to control under the workspace which tools will remain on your screen when you press your spacebar. So that's an overview of the general options in the Wings modular, and I'm sorry I'm not an expert on all of those functions, but certainly if you need help finding them, you're welcome to ask me, although I'm sure that the people at Artistic Suite would be happy to assist in any questions you may have.